Hi, I'm Amory, and I am here with the Amory's Book Club selection for the month of July, which is Fire Exit by Morgan Talty. In Fire Exit, we meet Charles, who is going through a lot in his life. It seems like everything's just tumbling down slowly. He is caring for his mother, Louise, who is aging, and she's encountering dementia and what seems to be Alzheimer's. She doesn't remember who he is all the time, which is hurtful in and of itself, and there's so much that the novel talks about regarding that. There's also his daughter who lives across from his house. Elizabeth doesn't live across the street. You'd have to go the long way if you wanted to ride on the streets. She lives across a small section of the river, but it's a very short distance. You can cross it in just a couple of minutes. So he's watching Elizabeth from across the street with her mother Mary and Mary's husband Roger, and as he watches from the time that she's brought home from the hospital to now her early adulthood, he's been carrying a secret, which is that he is Elizabeth, or Ellie's, father. Ellie has no idea who he is, and because of everything going on in his life, because of his ideas regarding blood and health and the trauma that can be carried down, the necessity of knowing who you are, he gets it into his head that he really should tell Elizabeth who she is. Of course, this could be detrimental to Elizabeth's. Why is it so difficult for me to say Elizabeth's? First of all, it's hard for me to say Elizabeth for some reason, and Elizabeth's, so I'll do my best. This could mean terrible consequences for Ellie's life for several reasons. One, of course, she's an adult now, and she never knew that this person who's across the street is her father. She met him once. She got to see him a couple of times, but they were fleeting moments, and Mary would sneak around Roger's back, not necessarily. It's weird because it's almost like she didn't have to, because she feels like he's always known what she's been doing, but she does it in such a clandestine way. And part of the reason, I won't tell you here, but part of the reason does have to do with bloodline, blood percentages regarding how much native blood someone has and whether they can or cannot live on the reservation. Charles grew up on the reservation, but because his mother was there by marriage, once she was no longer with her husband, he could no longer stay there either. And so there's a lot of those complicated things. Morgan Talty explores so many things regarding mental health, family, bloodline, how important or non-important is your bloodline, one's legacy, and how life can really crumble at any time. Everybody's life is falling apart, and they're falling apart at any stage. And so one is never really safe or protected. You never can build up this happy, picturesque life because there's always a secret or some terrible situation, a terrible health situation lurking around the corner. And it almost makes Charles feel like he wants to equip Elizabeth with everything that she needs to become who she has to be. At the same time, Mary feels like this would be extremely detrimental because Ellie is going through her own health, her own mental health specifically, issues. Aside from covering some very heavy topics, the novel is written so beautifully. It's very voicey. We are in Charles's point of view, and he has a very particular way of speaking, a way of seeing life, and we get that through the pages. At the same time, there's so much poetry within the novel. There are so many lines where it's just one sentence or half a phrase, a turn of phrase that just so succinctly encapsulates a human emotion, a conundrum. Absolutely beautiful. I hope you pick up this book. Morgan Talty has been making so much noise ever since his debut collection, Night of the Living Res, which I have yet to pick up, but I am definitely reading after having read this. But it made a big splash, so people were really highly anticipating this novel, and it does not disappoint. Please pick up the novel today. Join us at the end of the month for our IG live chat. Bring your questions. Follow along at Amory's Book Club on IG, as well as my personal page at Amory. And I will see you at the end of the month. In the meantime, happy reading. Let's do a little flip for them. Can we do a flip? Can we do a flip for the thumbnail?